We will now look at the second philosophy to education, which is realism. So from the idealistic approach, we are now going to take a shift to the realistic approach and see what that approach has to offer us. Realism, reality exists independent of the human mind, the world of physical objects' ultimate reality. So what realism is trying to say is, unlike the idealists actually, that in the mind the ideas come, they say no. The reality is what actually exists, what you see. The ultimate reality is the physical objects. So everything that you can see, touch, feel are real, and therefore that is what needs to be studied or learned. So the focus is the body. From the mind, the move away is towards the body. The idealists focus on the mind, the ideas, the thinking. The realists focus now on the body because you can touch, feel, you need hands, legs, you touch, feel, observe, and all that wonderful stuff that you do to experience the reality of the real world. And that is what realism says. What all exists needs to be explored, learned from, and that is what we need to share with our students. The proponent here was Aristotle from the old Greek world. What Aristotle tried to teach, unlike Plato and Socrates, was to move away. What you can see, what you can experience, what you can feel is the real. And it's the real that we should be teaching instead of the ideal which is in people's minds. Because if I don't propagate my idea, if I don't transform it into words, if I don't share it with somebody else, the idea remains within me. And over time, it could be lost. So if we were proposing to teach to the reality, then what exists, what you can see, touch, feel, experience is real. And that is what one needs to teach. So we see a shift. The shift from just looking at the mind, of just focusing on the mind, to focusing on the body. So then that brings us to aspects of biology and chemistry and physics and sociology and psychology, and all those wonderful disciplines began to take shape and come about because we started now looking at the reality. This is the body. How does the body function? What can the body do? What is the body made up of? In trying to answer all these questions, we developed lots of other areas of study that would, under idealism, not have developed. That is the key. That is the key to realism. What you can see is what you will question. What you can feel is what you will question. What you can experience is what you will question. But when you can never experience, feel, or touch ideas, you are not going to experience ideas unless they are transformed into words by someone. So for a realist, the key is developing the human body in its totality. So for a realist, developing the whole child, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, morally, all are important, not just mentally. The focus shifts from the mind to the rest of the human body and what it experiences, what it can experience, what it should experience.